This is a video to share what I've learnt about blockchain and why you should care. So what is blockchain? Blockchain is referred to as a collection of distributed ledger technologies that can track and record just about anything. So you can think of it as a virtual filing cabinet. It's classed as an emerging technology, but it was first developed back in 1991. Many people associate blockchain with Bitcoin, and that's understandable because Bitcoin was the first to use blockchain widely. But blockchain is wider than just Bitcoin. Blockchain is the system. So if blockchain was your smartphone, then Bitcoin would just be an app. So let's start with a block. A block is just a record of data. So taking Bitcoin as the example, a block could contain transaction details, so it might have the name of the sender, the name of the recipient, and the number of coins that was used in that transaction. If a new record is created or an existing record amended, a new block is generated. Each block is connected to the previous block using unique keys. This creates a chain of blocks, or a blockchain. And why should you care? Well, 3 reasons. Firstly, the change to how data is managed, how we transact, how we trust. Going back pre-computer, when you might find transactions held in an actual ledger book, the data was managed centrally. A small number of people would have access to the data, it could easily be lost, incorrect, or be tampered with. Moving forward to the current digital age, taking a bank as an example, data is widely accessible, but the data, conceptually at least, is still managed centrally by your bank. With blockchain, there is no single guardian of the data. It can be accessible to everyone and is self-governed. The second reason is how we transact. Thinking about a business transaction today, Sam is buying a house from Pete. Does she do it directly? No. Sam, like most of us, uses a combination of solicitor, mortgage broker, bank, estate agent, and a land registry agent. Think about the time and effort and money it takes to get through this process. Blockchain is peer-to-peer. This means no middlemen or women, so the transaction is effectively handing over the money, receiving the goods. And what's the fundamental thing that can allow this to work? Well, that's number 3, how we trust. When we make a business transaction, we do it based on some level of trust that we'll get what we pay for. This trust may be taken from a recommendation from a friend, the reputation of the person or company, or maybe you just trust your gut. eBay is a good example of buying on trust. Before I risk my money buying that new pair of Bluetooth headphones, I look at the number of transactions a seller has, their past feedback, does the advert sound right, have other people bidded on the item. There's a number of elements that increase or decrease my level of trust. Let's go back to the blockchain. The initial or genesis block in the chain will have data and a generated unique key, which is like a fingerprint. The next block created has not only its own unique key, but a record of the key from the previous block. The third block includes the key from the second block, and so on. So the blocks in the chain are created in chronological order and linked by a series of keys. So if a bank used blockchain, you'd no doubt have personal information plus transactional information along with the key, building up a persistent and accessible record of all transactions. There can be different types of blockchains. So in this example with the bank, you could have different levels of users, so some that could create and amend information, and some that could only view particular parts of the record. Creating or changing a block involves solving a cryptographic puzzle, the solution of which needs to be approved across the peer-to-peer network for that blockchain, before the change or new block can be accepted. Every user of the blockchain has a copy of the blockchain, which they can use to verify any changes and make sure that the blockchain is valid. This system makes tampering with a block almost impossible and provides automatic trust. So to recap, blockchain is a ledger of data held in chronological order. It's decentralized, accessible to anyone, but with no single controller. Blockchain data is protected by a combination of unique keys, the system, and the users of the blockchain. I hope that was useful. Thanks for watching.